Hello and good afternoon to you. This is Cliff Grays from Train World Boxing. Now, we are not like the other online boxing courses. Most of those are attempting to replace live coaches, right? And actually, it couldn't be anything worse. I have been a competitive amateur boxer in my youth, and I can tell you for nothing, scratch my head, I can tell you for nothing that nothing will replace hands-on, live, in the flesh boxing tuition. However, yes, you can do the boxing training. Look at the Boxercise classes, the myriads of Boxercise classes and Boxercise fitness. It's an excellent format of keeping fit and actually self-defense. So, we've talked to you before about power punching, okay? Specifically, power punching. So not necessarily your punches in bunches, not necessarily your combinations. Your power punching all the time, all the time. The punches in bunches, are exactly that. Your combinations are exactly that. But your punches, your power punches, is a different matter. And we said that it's all a pivot off the back leg. 90% of all your punches come off the back leg. Now you cannot see. I'm going to put a light on here. You cannot see me pivoting off my back leg. The front foot just glides in, bang. Moving, glides in, bang. All off the back foot. Today, we are going to teach you the art of evasion. So there is a technique where you could do when you're moving around, and it's just head movement. You're moving around the ring, moving around, and a slight little dip. So it could be like this: sip, sip, down. It's not how you slip when you're coming into range. This is just when you're at distance. Sip, sip, down. Moving around, sip, sip, down. Moving around. Sip, 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 down. 1, 2. Never 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. No. Either a dip, sip, sip, or sip, sip, down. Just moving the head. When you're at a distance, so you're looking for the openings. Sip, sip, down. Moving around, circling around if you want to move down. You're moving in to aim to get those big punches in. So that is one format of, it's more of a drawing effect. You're drawing the opponent in. Okay, drawing opponent in. Drawing them in. And yes, you do have to be fit. Because you're using a lot of energy. That's one format. The second format is when you're in range evasion. Okay? Here he is. My armless companion that don't hit back because he ain't got nothing. But anyway, let me just show you. If I can. This is the left side, obviously. This is the right side. This is my left side, obviously, and this is my right side, obviously. Let me just show you a little bit better, bring them in a little bit more. So in effect, what you are creating, certainly when you're in an orthodox stance and your opponent is in an orthodox stance, is a cross effect. So my left hand goes to his left side. Can you see that? It's a bit difficult to actually show it to you, but it's going across diagonally. That's straight, look, that's straight, that's diagonally. Just look at how my shoulder is. What creates the cross effect is the right. Now my right hand is going onto his right side. There's the cross effect, look, there's the cross effect. So what you are, in effect, aiming for is to see that cross effect. That cross effect, okay? So you got that cross effect. You understand? You understand? You got that cross effect. You got me? That's how you understand. If he's come out to you like that, hang on a minute, something ain't right here. This is my left hand to his right side, but look, when my right hand goes to his left side, this doesn't create a cross effect. So when we have him or her in a cross effect, it's creating that cross effect. Hence, this is where the get my words out. The right cross comes in because you're crossing over. It's easy to spot. You'll see it. Because if you're feeding with your left hand and he's feeding with his left hand, you can see that you've got to come across. When it's in the right stance, coming like that, it isn't. It's a direct. It's a feel. You'll get for a feel. But what we're going to do today is to show you the evasion possibilities. Now, we looked at this one from a distance, didn't we? When you're at distance, and this dipping down, didn't we? That's when you are out of range. Okay, it's a slight movement of the head and a slight dip down. The dip down comes into it, but that's, you know, so you're going from 3 movements, a dip down, slip, slip, or slip, slip, dip, dip, slip, dip, whatever. Okay? Now we're going to show you the first slip, which is the easy one, which is actually, can you see okay, everybody? When you're actually, you slip, okay? You slip. But here you're actually slipping, aren't you, onto the inside. And it's always a lot more skillful to slip onto the inside. Which, please note, you can't see it. All that's moving is my rear foot. My rear foot is pivoting in. From the 45-degree angle, pivoting in. There's the slip. Can you see? Look. You're pivoting in. Pivoting in. Okay? So you're pivoting in. You're pivoting in. You're pivoting in. Slipping. The other way to slip is to the outside. The jab's coming in. That's the jab from him to my face. The jab is coming in. Across that alignment. Then you're slipping out. You're slipping onto the outside. Okay? You're sipping onto the outside. Sipping onto the outside. Got that? The next one I want to teach you is the roll, which basically you are formulating a U shape. So, watch this closely. Now, you move over to the right side, pivoting, right side, under and up. Slip, roll, under and up. See where I am now? Ready for the big punch. You formulate a U. All off the back foot, remember. You slip, drop, roll under, bang. This is what the foot is doing. Pivoting in, you're slipping down. As you're slipping down, it's changing, it's rotating back round. You come up to there, to there. That's one way. The other way is to slip out. So you slip and out. The exact same thing. Right. Slip out, round and up. All on the back foot. You slip out, rotating the foot outwards. So you slip outwards, around and on up to come back. The positioning of the feet, specifically the rear foot, is changing all the time because it's pivoting and it's realigning and it's going to be straight forward and then it's going to be to the side at 45-degree angle to facilitate all of these movements. Okay. The third movement is just a drop down, dip, they call it, and just dip, dip, dip. Okay? You dip, you dip, you dip, you dip, or you dip, Okay. Dip. And the last one is what is known as a sway back. Now, the sway back is just my feet are now positioned forwards. You don't always have your foot at the 45-degree angle, but you do quite a bit. You get a feel for it when you know what I'm talking about. So your feet are positioned, my feet are going like this way, same direction. The rear one is not at 45-degree angle. Okay, the sway back comes in. Sway back is that onto the back foot. Neutral, from a neutral stance. This is front foot, this is back foot, right? Bang, bang, all off the back foot. My back foot now is at 45-degree angle. Understand? Flat on the floor with all the weight on 80% of the weight on the rear foot. So you're swaying out of the way, swaying out of the way, swaying out of the way of the punch. Now, next stage. When do we use what for what? So we have just, didn't we, right at the start, we talked about this business, a little dip, more of a, I've always thought, be a good counter puncher. Let your opponent make a mistake, then take them out. Or hurt them, and when they're hurt and they're backing up, now you can come on the attack. But boxing's about evasion, isn't it? The art of self-defense. Why do you think Floyd Mayweather boxed for so long successfully? All of them great. Sugar Ray Leonard, our very own Joe Calzaghe, because they had a defense that was so beautiful. And invariably, they were counter punchers. Yes, they would go on the attack. Yes. Even your Canelo Alvarez is there. They're ducking on it. Bang, bang, bang. What about Triple G? Coming in, taunting you. Coming real range of distance. Looking all the time. This is something these online classes don't teach you. There's one I've got two very, very good ones, and they are from the UK, actually. I think they're exemplary. One is my boxing coach, and the other one is the guy from Birmingham. What's he called now? But I do think that they're very, very good. I will tell you that another time. But the rest of them, a bunch of wankers, to be honest with you. So, on the evasion part of it all, you've got it down. Yes, we're talking about, we all know about footwork and around all that game to give yourself space. But we're not covering that today. We're making it simple for you to digest again. So, to recap, you've got this way, or this way, whatever, from a distance, meaning you're a couple of ballet dancers, wheedling your way in, you're thinking about it. It's a game of chess, isn't it, boxing? Looking at your opponent, looking to see, there's a feint, see what he does. Oh, he's a good boy, this boy. Better sharpen up my game. Oh, he's a bit tasty, this one. You understand? And that's normally what first rounds are, feeler rounds. And that is what that is. Just head movement and a little dip. We talked about the slips, didn't we? Now, you can incorporate a slip and a roll. Okay? So you could slip, roll under, bang, there's your KO punch. Once again, don't forget, this is his left hand, left side. This is his right side. This is my left. This is my right. This is me slipping. The jab's coming in, which you've got to be really skillful. But let's just go with this. You've slipped inside and you've rolled under. Now you're set. Your back foot, your weight's on the back foot. Your foot is at a 45-degree angle and bang, you just let it go. Okay? Next way is a slip to the outside. Remember, there's the left side, there's a punch coming, slip to the right side and under and over for a hook. You can do these to the body. Slip to the inside, roll under, bam! Right hook. You can slip to the outside, roll under, left hook to the body. The same principle can be applied to uppercuts. You slip, you roll, you uppercut. You slip, you roll, you uppercuts to the body. You slip, you roll, you uppercut. You slip, you roll, you uppercut, you up. You understand? It is all working off the back leg, shifting, shifting, shifting. Your weight should be slightly cocked on back foot, slightly cocked. Chin all the time down. Guards. You could have that, couldn't you? But then a while ago, I'm 6 foot, going to be thinking, looking at you, thinking, this is the bit when they're looking and they're sensing, they're looking. They've had over 40 fights, they're going to be looking. They'll be thinking, he's open to the body. So are your coaches. Bang, 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 bang. This is why Marciano had this sort of effect. This is why in Jeet Kune Do, because I'm right-handed, now I'm going Jeet Kune Do stance, Bruce Lee. Because if you're going to get it, you're going to take it on there. This you can parry and block. Come to that in a minute. So do you understand the elegance of being able to slip and being able to read, so looking. What was that? Well, that was a feint, wasn't it? But it's attempting, and this comes from real experience and feel. It's attempting to see what that guy's going to do. As soon as you see that movement, you think he's going to do, roll under it and use your legs to get out of the way. Roll under it or slip it. Okay? Now, how do we get our heads around when we should slip and when we should roll? That's a hard one, isn't it? Mainly, we've talked about, I'm not going to go back over that again, the outside distance bit. We've come into range Now you're looking, you're still drawing your opponent, but you're in range to get some big bombs off. Definitely in range. So if it's from him, predominantly, I use the word predominantly, means most of the time. If it's the straight punches coming at you, you slip. You slip. If it's shorter range hooks, you roll, and also you do use your side steps and all that. That's another time. Okay. So rolling, it's not a golden rule, this. This is just a sort of blueprint. A guide to think so you know what you're doing. Why you're doing it. When you're shadowboxing, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, then you come out of range. Moving in, whoops. Moving in. And sound. So predominantly slips for straight punches, more longer range, rolling under for like medium range hooks. When you're in close, this is the paradox. I'll come away from Bernie or Arnie, whatever you want to call him, armless. Although everything is on and off the back foot, the front foot is just your range finder. Your front foot is your little skip in. Okay. Sometimes when you were right in close, now this is where a lot of Jeet Kune Do, the likes, if you've ever heard of him, Paul Vunak, V-U-N-A-K, Vunak, and they're placing traps. You couldn't really do this, you see, in boxing, because when you're holding him, obviously because he hasn't got any arms, but you've got him like this, holding him like this, and you're doing the shredding effect into the face. Sort of, you couldn't do it in professional boxing, could you? Or amateur. But you're in close is what I'm trying to say to you, forgetting about all this trapping business. You are in close. Now you plant your feet. So both feet going forwards at slight angles outwards externally. Both feet going forwards in the trenches. And it's just the hips that move. The feet stay behind. It's what you should be doing in the shadowboxing. Thinking about it. You're the counterpuncher, but you're not the backing off counterpuncher. You're the counterpuncher like Triple G. You're looking all the time. You're rolling all the punches. You're looking for your You're looking for the openings. You're letting feel flow. Let it do what it wants your body to do. If it's that, do that. Obviously, you've got to remember, you've got an opponent. And he's thinking, he does sip, sip, dip, bang! But he does that next time. So it is about zip, zip, bang, or zip, 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 out, move around, you know. It's a variety of things, but at least when you're doing your Boxercise, you're going to look good because you're going to know why you're doing it. And I'm telling you something for nothing. That will increase what you look like 100-fold. 100-fold. Trust me. If this is getting through to boxers and you think, oh, I fancy doing that, having a go, get yourself to a boxing club where it's white collar, ABA club, maybe even professional. You might be young enough to think, I know I can fight. I'm going to make some money out of it. I'm not going to get banged up again for 36 months and serve 18 in a horrible BCAT prison. No thanks. No thanks. No. I'm good at it. I'm going to earn some money out of it. And then set your goals. British champion. Wow. What an accolade. Who's to say you don't go further? But you understand what I'm trying to say? You'll look good. Everything you've got to do has got to have some sort of meaning to it. From the way you punch to the way you move. Okay? And you will begin to enjoy it so incredibly much. You will love it. And you, incidentally, when you know what you're doing, you won't gas as much. Because you won't be panicking. If something's coming into you, you won't be panicking. You know what to do. You know what to do. Why do you think all these... a mediocre amateur will know, and he's up against the ropes, and you've got some novice coming in like, he's just taking his time, moving away. I've had it. This kid's name was Fowler. I think he was a travelling lad. I hope he's still alive. A bit older than me, and Dennis Everett, my coach, said, I think his name is Kevin. Don't quote me. So he got up, and he is this close to me, and he's just rolling everything. Rolling under everything. Swaying back. I'm like this. All my punches going all over his head. If you've ever had that, it does tame you very, very, very quickly indeed. So yeah, learn your slips. Learn your slips. Learn your dips. Learn your rolls. Look at the physics of it all. Where would that punch come? What's the best thing to do? Roll under it. Now look. Now it's your turn. Bang! Short overhand right. Bang! Now where are you set up for? Bang! Into the ribs. Now step around to the side, and if you can switch it, now what? Look at what am I in now? Set up ball. Well, you think Hamid in his prime was so devastating because he could do that. He could switch it. He could just switch it, and then you're right out here. Now he's on his strong side. Bang! Say goodnight. And he could finish like a warrior. But it all starts with you practicing and understanding that you got the outside slip, which is not doing much, but it's rather better than you doing this, isn't it? So he goes, oh, Rob, what's a wily boxer going to do? He's going to move around, he's going to be lovely and loose, knows what he can do, very experienced. And you're like a plank. you get staggered back. Oh, it was quite easy. Bang, 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 bang. Staggers back into the ropes. Time to finish him. And so what I'm trying to say, I hope you do. I hope you do. So you've got to keep mobile on your feet, light on your feet, keeping that head down, chin down. If they come over, bang, I haven't taught you the parries yet, I'm going to. Coming in, bang, bang, bang. And Sam, I will teach you side steps another time. When the straight punches are coming in, this is the time to slip. Be slipping predominantly. That's the word of this video. Predominantly. And then when you're in a little bit more mid-range, whereas inevitably where the KOs will come, is that's when you're rolling. The dip, anytime you like. For most punches, a jab, a right cross, just dip. Break the knees, dip. Right? Right cross. Overhand right, no. Overhand right, sway back. Uppercuts, sway back. I go sway back and then step round. Fast. But like I say, we'll get to those side steps another time for you. Okay? Now the parries. So, if his jab is coming, you've got this way. Parry it that way. Look. Parry it that way. This is the jab. Parry it that way. Parry it that way. Look. What has it done? You parried it that way and look what have I done? Can't see the back foot moving. Parried it that way. What have I done? I mean, that way to go in there. That way to go in there. His left jab's out. You parried it away. Now you've got a gift. Crack. Okay. Combinations, yeah, to finish. Come into it. The other way to parry is in like this. In like this. So the right hand's coming in. You knock it down. Come over with your own right. Those are the only two parries. Knocking it in, and with the right hand, knocking it in. So the left hand can do the right hand, yes. So can that, but I always think right hand to left hand, knock it away, knock it away, knock it away. Bang. And then the right hand's coming in, look. So what are you going to do? Knock it down. There you are, you've got a gift. Those are parries, pretty simple. Now blocks. Blocks for boxing. No. You can do cover-up shots. So if somebody's coming at you, you cover up like this, you cover up like that. You block in like this, we block in like that. So the left hand's coming in, you block it like this, you block it, you're taking it there, which I don't like, but you can do it. And then you've got, because you've moved into a slip, haven't you? Not too much. See this bit here? Can you see that white line? And then move it forward for you. Can you see? That white line goes right down the centre. There's your centre line. So when you're blocking, you don't want to be blocking right like that, because now you've exposed that, but it's just like a block, upwards block. All you're doing is saluting. salute you, salute you, salute you. Or the way Cliff Gray salutes. I know they do it like that in the British Army, don't they? Salute you, salute you, salute you. Bringing it up, catching it. Can you catch it on the elbows? That's up to them. Salute you, salute you. The left hand comes in, you bang it up. The right hand comes in across. There you are, look. All the time you're incorporating all your movement with your back foot. And it's a feel thing. This is why, folks, to get really proficient at it, doesn't really mean going to a boxing club and trying it in sparring. But you can still have great fun with it and get great exercise out of it. So what have I given you for free? How to power punch. How to evade and move in to positions to be able to power punch. We'll get to the punches and bunches. We'll get to the footwork and all of that. Okay. Once you've got all that, you've got your skill. The basis, your foundation. Now go and train it and get really, really fit and get really, really strong, because you will gain so much out of Boxercise. It is untrue. Nobody wants you to go out in the street and punch somebody's lights out, do they? Least of all me, because you'll end up in big bad trouble. Unless you're doing it for self-defense. But yet again, that's another chat. Okay, so the central heating is on here. I told my missus not to put the central heating on, and it is like a sauna in here. So I do apologise, but it is. I like doing things out in the fresh air, but I couldn't do this out in the fresh air, could I? Because all the neighbours would be looking. I hope you've enjoyed this and understand that although there are better out there, they'll charge you. We don't. And we are rooting for you. Okay? So, look, if you've liked this video, would you be graceful? Just give me a thumbs up. Encourage me. Give me a thumbs up. Okay? Thank you, everybody. This is Cliff Grace from Trainwheel Boxing. I'll speak to you again soon. Ciao.